Hello viewers, welcome to another edition of War Robots test server. Let's take a look at some of the new features. This is 2017, July 22nd and 23rd. This is test server 2.9.3.125. So let's take a look at these new paint jobs first of all. Cossack has a new paint job. The only paint job, the graffiti. And then the Fury has an additional paint job. The Marine, so very blue inspired paint job. And then the General Patton has, I believe, several paint jobs. I believe these are new. All of these are new. Samurai, Spartan, Viking, Vampire, and Sci-Fi. And then the Fujin. Can't recall how many of these are new. But Red Dragon, I can't remember whether it exists already. Blue Dragon, I believe this exists already. I can't be certain. This is definitely new, the gold. Okay, and unfortunately I cannot demonstrate the prototype heavy robot. When I previously loaded the test server app, it did have that option. I chose it, but then it wiped it out today on the test server, so I can't demonstrate it. I've mounted the prototype weapon, the incendiary weapon, first of all, on a Carnage, so you can see only this weapon without the interference of other weapons. And this is a flamethrower. It looks like a Tehran, but it's not. It's a flamethrower type weapon. This has had its range increased by 50 meters to 350 meters, and it can pass through both physical and energy shields. So a very interesting weapon. And then there's 3 prototype medium weapons. I've mounted them on an Ansel lot, an Ansel equipped Lancelot, that is. The first one, it says 1,000 meters for the range, but that's not true. Apparently the email says that it's 600 meters to the initial target, and then the damage is up to 300 meters to the next target, and so on. So it passes from one enemy to another to another to another. So that's quite interesting. It ignores energy shields, but it can be blocked by physical shields. So each enemy can only be hit once, it says, and so it's a chain reaction damage to other enemies. So your enemies have to be close to each other, 300 meters apart. Now this, I will also put on an Ancelot. Again, it says 1,000 meters, but it's 600 apparently, according to the email. This is also a medium weapon, does chain reaction damage to nearby enemies, but this time it's got a longer range to the next enemy, 450 meters. Each enemy can only be hit once, but each target will receive 20% less damage, so the cascading effect is less and less and less. And then this is the third variation, also 600 meters to the first target, and then it has the ability to hit the next target that's 300 meters away, and so on. But it can hit the enemy multiple times, so it goes from enemy to enemy to enemy to enemy. So that's quite interesting. All of these weapons, by the way, medium weapons, as I mentioned, that can be blocked by physical shields, but ignores energy shields. Alright, so let's start, and I'm going to also show you the new map, which is only available in Domination mode, which is not the Beacon Rush, but the Beacon Rush you saw in last week's test server video. So this is what the existing live server uses, a Domination mode, where you have to capture beacons. And whoever holds the beacons longer wins, but you always start with the spawn location. You cannot spawn from a new captured beacon. Nor is it like the no beacon destruction mode that was once tested. Now let me start first of all with the Carnage, so you can see the incendiary weapon, the flamethrower. And this is using the new user interface, and for some reason I've noted that the movement is very slow. I think it's because, oh yeah, I think it's because I'm not, there we go, it's faster now. I think it's because all my cursors are in a different position here. So the new user interface, everything is in new location, so I can't move and shoot at the same time, or move fast and shoot at the same time, I should say. So that's why it's slower movement. I see. So moving slower because they've moved the interface around and all my key mapping is all messed up. So yeah, so bear with me here. I can't, as I said, I can't move quickly and shoot at the same time. Okay, so this does some moderate damage. It's fairly good, but it's not as much damage as a thunder. Okay, as you can see, I'm not moving as quickly because it's again that they've moved the interface around. I gotta find a group of enemies here to demonstrate this weapon better. Go into rush mode. They moved around the locations of the interface here. Unfortunately, that's just a single enemy. But let's see how much damage it does. Not very much, is what I found. But it'll cascade and chain reaction. So that's kind of interesting. So it doesn't do as much damage, even at level 8, but it'll bounce from enemy to enemy. It's unfortunate I can't see another enemy nearby. Interesting maps, like a desert theme. Okay, so it bounced from enemy to enemy. I'm going to move on to the next robot here so that you can see this in action before the game ends. So unfortunately I don't have another enemy nearby to use. It did go through that Lancelot shield, but I think maybe because the shield was broken. So this is quite a big distance here on this type of weapon. It's like a Zeus in terms of distance. So it doesn't do as much damage, but it'll bounce from enemy to enemy. If only there was another enemy near this one. How far is the next enemy? Yes. So it should be bounced. Okay, yeah, you can see the damage bouncing now. You can see the damage it does to the next enemy. Again, not a lot, but it's bouncing from enemy to enemy. You can see how much damage is done. So not very much. Let's move on to the third prototype. Medium weapon. Well, again, it looks like a Zeus, but it's not. Trying to chase down an enemy with another neighbor nearby so it can bounce. Now this one here will hit the enemy more than once, apparently. Yeah, so it's bouncing, hitting the first robot again, I think. See how much damage it's doing to the next enemy. Okay, not very much. I guess to avoid it being overpowered. Yeah, so it's bouncing back and forth. you can see. You know, it's not doing lots of much damage. Finally, hit the Fury. And as this is the test server, it doesn't affect anyone's statistics. It's just a test, a beta test server. It doesn't affect their live accounts. So I'm going to exit now. So that's been a demonstration. The War Robots test server 2017, July 22nd and 23rd, version 2.9.3. Thank you very much for watching.